a fight with your partner, and halfway through you think, wait, what are we even fighting about? I know I have. Hi, my name is Eri Kardos, and I am a huge relationship geek. I help people create stronger relationships, and I actually love conflict when it leads to deeper connection. Most people see fighting as a problem, but what if it was an invitation to even deeper understanding? Shifting from control to connection can bring you closer than ever before. Let me show you how. Think back to your childhood. Maybe you grew up in a home where love wasn't about connection. It was about control. You weren't asked, what do you need? You were told, do what we say. You learned early on, don't ask. Don't take up space. Keep the peace. Over time, you became a people pleaser. So now in your relationships, you avoid conflict as much as possible until enough resentment builds. Or maybe you grew up having to be the responsible one, the fixer. You learned to take care of everyone else's emotions before your own. Now in your relationships, you feel the pressure of keeping it all together, even when you are struggling and exhausted. Or perhaps emotions weren't even talked about in your family. If you had feelings, you handled them alone. Now, when conflict or big emotions show up in your relationship, you shut down because vulnerability feels unsafe. We all learn ways to feel loved and safe as kids. Pleasers, fixers, shut-downers, those patterns don't leave us when we grow up. Raise your hand if you see a little bit of yourself or your partner in any of those patterns. Wow. Pretty much all of us. Yeah. And it's okay. It's not your fault. It's how you were raised, and your parents did the best they could with what they learned. Research from the University of Virginia shows that the way we were raised shapes how we handle control in romantic relationships. You learn to see conflict as control. But as an adult, you have the chance to relearn love in a way that actually works. Instead of fighting for control, fight for connection. It's okay if you don't do things the right way when you had to as a kid. It's okay if opening up feels hard. When you create safety for yourself and your partner, your fights lead to deeper connection. So how do you stop fighting for control and start fighting for connection? I want to teach you a simple, powerful tool that I call the bubble of awareness. I'm going to warn you, this shift takes practice and patience and courage. It takes unlearning what hasn't been working for decades and trying something new. In just a moment, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and go on an inward journey with me. This is a tool I use with my own clients. It has 3 layers and it takes less than 3 minutes to practice. Are you open to trying it out with me? All right, let's make this shift together. I invite you to close your eyes. Think about the last time you felt frustrated with your partner. Tune into your body first. What sensations do you notice, even just thinking of the memory? Maybe you have a knot in your stomach, your throat is closing up, your chest feels tight, or maybe you just feel numb. Your body warns you when control is creeping in. When these signals take over, they leave little room for anything else, let alone curiosity. With your eyes still closed, picture a bubble around you. Right now, you are inside of it, fully in the moment, feeling that frustration and overwhelm. It's loud, it's consuming, like it's the only thing that exists. This is layer 1. And when you feel it taking over, this is actually an invitation to pause and breathe. Let's try it together. Inhaling now. Now, expand to layer 2, your old wounds. Where else have these feelings shown up? Childhood? An old argument? Most fights aren't about now, they're about the past. Can you have compassion for the younger version of yourself? Now, expand your bubble one more time, this time to your partner. What might they be feeling? What's their story? What's their pain? Can you have compassion for the younger version of your partner? This is layer 3, compassionate awareness. This is where curiosity lets you see the bigger picture. Do you feel how different that is? How much less reactive, more open, and more connected you begin to feel? This is the shift from reacting to relating, from control to connection. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Now you may be thinking, okay, sure, Eri, this works for small things, but what about when they really hurt me? And I get it. Pausing to expand your awareness doesn't mean excusing bad behavior. It means choosing power over reactivity. The moment you expand your awareness, you expand your choices. When tension rises, someone has to make the brave choice to shift from control to connection. It's not easy at first, but I'm going to give you a good motivator. The fight you're having for control is getting you nowhere. In fact, according to Gottman, the world's leading relationship researchers, 69% of conflict in couples is unsolvable. So why keep fighting a fight you can't win? Pause, breathe, expand. 1, 2, 3. This simple shift breaks the cycle of repeating fights and turns conflict into connection. It's not the big fights that define your relationship. It's the everyday choices, the way you step back or lean into each other. Relationships are shaped by the small moments. For 15 years, I've helped hundreds of couples break free from the same exhausting fights and build real connection. But trust me, I've had to learn these lessons in my own marriage too. Let me tell you a personal story. Date night. I grab dinner. He loves it when I get his order right, and honestly, so do I. I write it down, pick it up, and we sit down to eat. We're feeling connected. Then he opens his food, and I see him freeze, and his wall goes straight up. The energy in the room shifts in a split second. He asks, "Where's the hot sauce?" I immediately shrink back, realizing I forgot it, and my stomach clenches. I'm feeling waves of not good enough with a hint of resentment building. This was connection time, until it wasn't. Anyone know that feeling when the train is about to go off the tracks? Yeah, I hate that feeling. I see him trying his best not to get upset, but he's very upset. What should I do? Here are the options that first popped into my mind. 1, lie and blame the restaurant. 2, defend myself. Really? It's just hot sauce. 3, over-apologize and shame myself. 4, shut down and pretend this is not happening. In that moment, I am doing everything I can to control the situation. Or I can choose option 5, shift into connection. Because I realize this is not really about the hot sauce. So how did I stop the train from going off the tracks? I asked us to pause. I invited us to breathe together. Then I expanded my bubble of awareness. First, I felt my impulse to react. Second, I remembered what it was like for me growing up as the eldest child. His reaction hit something deep, times when I wasn't given space to ask for what I needed. In that moment, I could feel the rush of the old stories coming in, resentment frustration, judgment, fueling my reaction to what seemed to be such a small thing. Third, once I saw where my own reaction was coming from, I had more space to get curious. What were we really fighting about anyways? I thought about the stories my husband has shared with me about his childhood. His pain is so different from mine, and it's just as valid. I can start to see why me forgetting the hot sauce is bringing up his old wounds. He is struggling to trust that his needs actually matter. I want him to feel seen. I want us to connect, not fight all night. So I made the courageous choice to shift the fight to connection. I put down my ego, which can be so freaking hard to do. And I said, babe, I hear that you feel upset about the hot sauce. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to forget it, but I did. I can imagine this feels hard. I know how much hot sauce makes your meal. I wonder if maybe you're feeling like you can't trust me to take care of you. Did I get that? I'm curious if there's something I can do right now to help the situation. I watched him exhale, his shoulders drop, his wall coming down brick by brick. I could feel the tension ease between us. Disaster averted. The train stayed on the track. Love isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about how you show up inside of it. Because the reality is, you're both on the same team. And guess what? Most conflicts aren't about what's happening right now. They're about old wounds wearing a new disguise. Your partner doesn't say hello, boom, your brain says, I'm not important. They forget something meaningful, boom, your brain says, I don't matter. So what if you got curious about the wound that's actually underneath? Your partner is a mirror, reflecting light into the parts of you that never got to shine. Real connection happens when you bring those hidden parts into the light. And this shift isn't just something that I've experienced. My clients see it too. Let me introduce you to Pam and Marcus, a married couple I was coaching. On our call, they're on opposite ends of the couch, arms crossed, eyes locked forward, refusing to look at each other. I said, all right, tell me what happened. Pam says, he comes home, slams the door, doesn't say a word, and disappears. How am I supposed to react to that? Marcus snaps. I didn't slam the door. I just needed 5 minutes to breathe. By the time I come out, she's cold and distant, and I have no idea why. Have you ever been in that moment where both people are frustrated, but no one really knows why? The tension, thick. Both of them 100% sure the other is the problem. So I asked them to pause, breathe, and check in with their bodies. Pam felt a tightness in her throat. Marcus felt a weight on his chest. Both were on edge, both were hurt, and neither knew how to get out of it. Then I led them through the bubble of awareness exercise. They took into account their feelings, noticed their old stories, and got curious and began to have compassion for each other. After a moment, Pam sighed and said, the story I have is that you came home, slammed the door, and disappeared into the bedroom without even saying hello. I thought, oh no, he's mad at me. I did something wrong. I felt confused and overwhelmed and like I was walking on eggshells. It reminded me of how I felt as a little girl around my dad. Marcus's face softened. I wasn't mad at you. I had a brutal day. I just needed 5 minutes alone to chill before I could be present with you. I didn't even notice the door slammed. When I walked into the kitchen, I could feel something was off. It felt like you'd pulled away from me. I started to freak out and spin into my old stories of feeling alone. And suddenly, there it was, the real fight. Not about the door, not about the silence, but about the old stories playing on repeat. Pam's fear of not being enough, Marcus's fear of abandonment. And the moment they saw that, the tension melted. They weren't enemies, just two people wanting to feel loved. They realized they weren't fighting each other. They were fighting old wounds. Do you see what happened here? They both made up stories in their head, believed those stories, and then stepped back instead of leaning into each other. The fight that was brewing was for control. I love how Chris Marie Campbell says it in her book, The Beauty of Conflict for Couples. Remember, as adults, we don't need to always get our way, but we do need to feel heard and genuinely considered. In 25 minutes, they went from conflict to deep connection. The more you fight for connection, the safer your relationship feels. Over time, you still notice the story, but you no longer need to fight for control because you're feeling more connected than ever. This shift changed everything for them. I don't stand here because I've mastered this. I stand here because I practice it every single day. Even as a relationship coach, I still catch myself making up stories in my head. I still feel the pull to step back instead of lean in. Most of us have the same fights over and over, fighting to be seen, fighting to be heard, fighting to feel like we matter. But here's the truth. Those fights aren't the real fight. So what are we even fighting about? The real fight is with your past, with the stories you carry, with the wounds you've never healed. It's never really about the hot sauce. It's not about the slammed door. It's about old hurts, unspoken needs, and the ways we protect ourselves by fighting for control. But you have a choice. Instead of fighting for control, fight for connection. Instead of fighting for who's right, fight to understand. Love isn't just felt, it's relearned, one choice at a time. So the next time a fight is brewing, make the powerful choice to pause, breathe, expand. 1, 2, 3. Because how you fight shapes how you love.